How's it going, everybody? Woodcarving Man here. So recently Dune Part 2 came out, and needless to say, I had to carve a Dune character. So I drew out a pattern on some basswood, did a little polytrades, and I got started on it. So what I'm using in this video is basswood. I'm using a flex cut wood carving knife. I'm also using V chisels, and I'm using U chisels as well for this video. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at the end. So as we get started, we'll be using a flex cut wood carving knife here, and we'll be utilizing a paring cut. A paring cut is when you work the knife in a grip fashion back toward your thumb. I highly recommend getting a thumb guard. I am not using one in this video. I've been carving for quite a while, but I highly recommend getting a thumb guard, especially if you're getting started. So we're just going to continue to shape the top of his head. And now I'm going to be utilizing a stop cut right underneath his jaw and underneath his scarf to create lines of separation. And we're just going to continue doing that. Stop cut by his arms, underneath his hands here. And then we're going to start working towards that stop cut where that initial cut was. And as you work toward it, you're just going to chip in toward it and chip out. Chip in toward it and chip out. Again, going into that stop cut. Just working toward that initial stop cut that we made, just chipping in toward it and creating the lines of separation. Now we're just continuing to shape where his arms are going to be, and we're just continuing to create lines of separation with stop cuts and then just working toward it. Now I'm going to be switching up for a V chisel to create a contrast where his arms go. And we're just going to use this V chisel to create those lines of separation between his arms and also in his scarf. I'm just going to switch up to a regular knife again, and where we use that V chisel, we're just continuing to form those arms out. And now I'm utilizing a U chisel just to work his cloak. Just continuing to utilize the stop cut to create those lines of separation, which makes everything stand out. The deeper the lines of separation, the more the carving will stand out. Now we're just going to continue to go back and work his cloak. As you can see, the arms are starting to form from those lines of separation, and then just working toward those stop cuts with your regular wood carving knife here. And you see the definition just starting to form. At this point, we're going to create more lines of separation to where he's got a cloak on with a hood. So we're creating those lines of separation for his hood, and we're utilizing a U chisel to do this. And as you can see, I'm kind of using this U chisel in a gouge fashion to clear the wood out and create the effect of a hood. We're taking that UV chisel and again creating a line of separation between the hood and the scarf. And this is a 1-inch gouge that I'm using now to work toward that hood and create the cloak. Now I'm going to go ahead and set him down on the table and use that V chisel underneath his cloak to create that line of separation. Then I'm going to use my 1-inch gouge and work toward that stop cut and then cut away that excess wood. Which now I'm going to take my V chisel to the front and start creating the lines of separation where his pants and legs are to form his body. And then just take my knife and work toward those lines of separation. Again, we're utilizing a U chisel to create the illusion of a cloak. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a stop cut around the top of his head, all the way around. And then we're going to work in towards the stop cut to start forming his face. Just continuing to work in toward the stop cut, stopping to apply another stop cut, and continue to work toward that stop cut to form the circle, the face. Now we're just going to stop cut around where his eyes are, and we're going to just continue to work around into the stop cut and create the circle eyes. Go ahead and take our knife and just continue to work around his face. Now I'm actually using my V-chisel to create a definition of hair. Using a V-chisel, it allows me to get these nice gouges that makes it look like hair, and I'm just going to continue to carve around with the V-chisel to create Paul's hair. During this process, I'm switching between a V-chisel and also a U-chisel. This is a small U-chisel and also a V-chisel to form the contrast of his hair. As you can see, the hair is starting to form. Oops. Now we're just going to continue to work toward those stop cuts. As you can see, the details are starting to pop now. The shapes are starting to come out real good. As we continue with our carving, we need to make sure that we continue to apply the stop cuts and then work toward them so that you're not prying the wood out, but that you're applying that stop cut and then you're working toward it so that the wood comes out in chips, nice even chips. So everything looks nice and clean and it comes out nice and even. Now as you can see, we're starting to get a nice final shape here. We're opting for kind of a minimalistic, cute style. So we're not going to go crazy with detail here, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a light sand and get it ready for a wood burning. Then I'm going to go ahead and just draw a couple eyebrows on here, a couple little details, and then we're going to break out our wood burner here in a second and get started with the wood burning. Now, wood carvers don't generally use wood burners, but this is just something that I like to do personally. And I'm not speaking for all wood carvers. I'm sure there are some out there that absolutely love to use wood burners, but me personally, I use my wood burner quite a bit. It's just a part of my style. So as you can see, I'm just adding little flourishes of details here in his clothing, and now I'm going to start with the wood burning. What I'm using here for a wood burner is a Coalwood wood burner. It's an excellent wood burner. It comes highly recommended, and it's what I use primarily for all my wood carvings. Now we're just going to continue around here, working the details. Just taking our time to add all the desired effects that we want in the clothing. Now, you might think, oh, this is weird, you're wood burning and then you're going to be painting, but when it comes out to the end, the wood burning with the painting makes a lot of details pop. So that's why I prefer to do this myself in my style. So just continuing to go around the back, add little details, a little patch here on his cloak, and work my way around. his eyebrows here with the wood burner. Go ahead and wood burn around where his eyes are. Just cleaning up any wooden burrs that I have left in there and prepping it for paint with the wood burning here. Go ahead and just give him that little smile with the wood burner, clean that up. And now just adding a couple more flourishes. And now we're gonna get started on paint. Now when I'm painting, I generally use just an acrylic based paint, and I use a little paint thinner to cut the paint so it's not quite as thick. But acrylic paints is all I use, and that's pretty much what I paint all my projects with. Go ahead and give him his Fremen eyes, the nice blue. Then we're going to go ahead and just apply a little bit of blush to add some contrast on his skin, on his cheeks here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just apply a little bit of stray hairs here on his forehead, kind of blowing around in the wind. Now I'm going to lightly dust my brush and then apply it in a very light dusting so it looks like he's got like sand on his cloak, boots, and gloves here. Again, you're just lightly dusting your brush and applying this effect. Now I'm going to carve him a little knife. Drill out his hand here so we can put the knife in it. I do not recommend using a drill like this. And there you have it. Paul with his little knife. And for a final touch, we add a little bit of linseed oil to protect it. So here he is all finished up, little Muad'Dib. Thank you everybody for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching. See you later.